Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. It's Worimi, on whose traditional lands these videos are made. And welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Really feel like today getting back into the alternate readings. These are sort of the more in-depth foundations of the world type, foundations of Mother Earth and our planet type readings. They are really interesting, and I'm loving all the suggestions. So if you've got any suggestions of what you'd like me to have a read on, then ask away. But what I'm going to have a look at first up today is I'm going to have a look at the lost colony of Roanoke. I've had a few of you ask me about that using my Lightseers Tarot. It is entertainment only. I will possibly use my own intuitive storytelling cards, and then we'll draw a couple of oracle cards at the end. So I was had never heard of it, so I was doing a little bit of research. I don't like to do, those that know me know I don't do too much research because I don't want to bring bias into it. But I was doing a little bit of research, and I note down the hits that I get while I'm doing the reading. So the lost colony of Roanoke Roanoke Island is in North Carolina. It was founded in 1585. Sir Walter Raleigh, was it? I can't remember who founded it, but anyhow, founded in 1585. There were about 112 people who were landed there to set up the colony. Of course, it was, a few years, perhaps there was some more children, etc., etc. But when the resupply vessels arrived back in 1590, the colony had people had completely gone. There were no bodies, there were no bones to be found. They had literally disappeared. So what was found by the resuppliers was that the fort had been reinforced. There was the word Croatian carved into the fort itself. So the thought was, oh, well, maybe they've gone to where another colony had been set up or on Croatian island. However, the weather turned really, really, really bad. The ship lost its mooring and lost its anchor and was literally just forced to sail back to England. So no one ever checked up to see whether they had gone to this other island. So what I got, and then we've got settled on Crass Island is one theory. I didn't even look to see where it was, but the real feeling I got when I was noting down this information, that there was an element of religious zeal madness that took hold within the walls. So what am I getting? Was that there was a madness. Now, I'm not saying all the people were madness. I'm getting that there was. So I don't know if it was a religious-based colony or whether it was. I don't know who the leaders were, but I was just getting that there was some. If you sort of think of a mad king type scenario or a mad emperor type scenario, that was the feeling I got. And I also got the feeling that. What am I getting? I mean, I wrote it in capital letters. Religious leader madness is what I got. But let's see where this goes. What else do we get? And that the inhabitants were then mixed with the local, the local tribes is what I'm getting. It's almost like they fled. Thank you. I've seen them actually flee the fort. Was it a fort? I can see a palisade, a wooden palisade. And I can see people fleeing out the door, out the gates, in light of this. Oh, it's just gone. Whoever it is, they've just gone nuts. They're actually fleeing from one of their own. Is what I'm getting. I don't even know if it's just one of their own or whether they had some zealot followers or something. Let's have a look. Show me the energies behind the colony at Roanoke Island. Show me what was going on there, guys. So it started out, what I'm getting at is started out innocent enough, and it was the old fear the other, fear of the other that was, so that's why the reinforcing of fort happened, or the palisades happened. It was a feeding the fear of the inhabitants. Whereas what I'm really getting is that the local tribes were like, really? What? That they were just looking on bemused, but there was this stirring up of fear happening within the walls. And it's really got that, okay, thank you. To put it in modern terms, that Republican Netanyahu zealot stirring up of, I remember they didn't have social media in those days, but stirring up of the inhabitants to make them fear for their lives, whereas the local tribes around are just like scratching their chins and going, what? Okay, show me the energies of Roanoke, the Roanoke colony that disappeared. Show me the energies. Got to do what I'm told. Okay, cards dropped out. Let's have a look. Okay, emotionally overwhelming, emotional, new partnerships, new agreements, the energies of it. What have we got here? Bought with heart, challenged by I've got Knight of Swords. To me, that looks like fleeing. It is, if I go by rote, it's a harsh truth coming forward, or bringing the truth coming forward. But you've got this guy here fleeing to get on his bike. Sorry, that's my phone in the background binging at me. So emotionally overwhelming and then fleeing. What's going on behind the scenes? So the energies behind the scenes, the Nine of Wands. I mean, there's not a madness card in the tarot deck, but we'll have a little look further. Here is the standing defiantly behind the reinforced palisades, listening to the, I'm going to say, inflammatory message, standing defiantly behind the palisades. But we have death and rebirth. This is about a significant ending and going through into the light. Ending it. Okay, thank you. I'm really drawn. Now, I have to go by what my boys draw me to. I'm being drawn to the swirling of the darkness here. So this is going from the darkness into a new beginning, a new light. So the energies behind Roanoke. And to me, these are sort of these cards are almost marrying energy. This is fleeing from this darkness into a new beginning. And you've got here the emotionally overwhelming that is being brought forward with this defiant behind the palisades. Yeah, out of this defiance, there is something that was revealed that was completely unexpected. I'm really feeling there was a descent into madness, anyhow. Yeah, and this is very much about emotionally and spiritually pouring into this unfulfilling well in the hope that this light will come to the surface, and it never does, and then turning the attention to what is reality. So this is about getting sucked in emotionally and spiritually into a false offering is what I'm getting there. Okay, this is really reinforcing and the energies, the karma hanging over, yeah, basically packing up and moving on with the truth as an offer was made. Okay, the outcome for them, yeah, nurturing, healing, new beginnings, significant new opportunities where they found peace and balance, where they decided what future they wanted and took the steps to bring it about, took control of their own destiny, and they planted seeds to nurture this new beginning. So what I'm really, really, really getting, and here's the Chariot, the moving forward, and it happened fairly quickly, and thereafter slow and steady progress forward in this healing energy, but also setting the seeds. I mean, these are the seeds that are being planted, and these are the seeds that were planted in this bowl here. So I'm going to really, there was a feeling of betrayal and bringing forth of a new beginning, where they worked together to rebalance. So I'm really, yeah, and connecting with the tribes. And again, another moving forward and ending, leaving behind the message that doesn't serve and moving forward. I'm really just going to sit in that energy of I'm not going to go any further with it. I was going to look a little bit further, but I think that really sums it up. I might actually just ask with my storytelling cards. Did the lost colony of Roanoke, did the leaders lose the plot when the colonists flee and settle with the tribes? I mean, did the lost colony of Roanoke, did they flee and settle with the tribes? Let's have a quick look. Freedom, family. I'm going to say opportunity because obviously trading, perhaps trading. Let's see where this goes. Trading for those that were already in the country. The wealth of the country, the wealth of the tribes. I'm not talking physical wealth. I'm talking more about opportunities with the tribes. Got the money and wealth here on either side of this country. Loyalty and exuberance, but just now these cards have a little word down the bottom. You don't have to use the word. You can go by the image. But I think what was happening was that that there was this entrapment by the leaders based on fear, but the families broke free from that because they could see what was on offer. But let's see where it goes. The fullness, the conflict, the celebration, and healing. Time struck down and the key. So yeah, there was this conflict. There was this conflict that went on, sort of overthrowing is what I'm getting is the overthrowing. So, okay, thank you. There was this, okay, thank you. I'm really getting that there was this trading going on with the people. For those on the family level, there was a trading going on with the tribes, and they saw the basic joy, and they embraced it with the exuberance of the actual tribes, the alternative, the loyalty that the tribes people have. They weren't to be feared, but I'm getting there was a full-on overthrow, celebration that led to healing over time as the key was striking down. We've got Mother Earth, destruction, people, the majority, contracts and agreements, swamp, flipping. Yeah. So there was this they it was to do with the tribal connection with Mother Earth. So the majority then struck down whatever contract and agreement they had to set up this colony. They basically said F you, is what I'm getting, and overthrew the leaders which was dragging them into this swamp because they saw the light. They flipped and saw the light, and they heard the messaging. They decided to fear, no, not going there. They decided the fear that was holding them in poverty, gone. And into the future, they heard there was the difficult message that they heard, but the alternative was restriction. Oh, thank you. They saw this future, that if they stayed, so that was difficult for them to hear, that if they stayed, there would be restriction and downfall. So they fast took their fate in their own hands and said no to the noise that they were being told, and instead embraced peace and bravery, is what I'm getting there. It was a crossroads moment where they could make connections that brought positive energy. They knew their future wasn't written. The alternative was this downward spiral of restriction. They found comfort in unifying. Okay, pretty much says what I already said. Yeah, there were. So what I'm really getting is there were some that were on the inside, and it was on the family, but the children. I'm getting the children. The children. The some of the children had connected with some of the First Nations tribal children. Well, it was the innocence of the children that opened the eyes of an element of the adults, those parents that saw and heard and understood that the fear, and they saw, okay, what I'm really getting is that within the palisades, within the fort, there was, I'm going to put it as squalor, not a word I'd usually use, squalor, but they could see on the outside that the tribes, because they were in connection with Earth, Mother Earth, they had abundance. And it was through the eyes of their children. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, so very basically, yeah, is what I'm getting, is that they decided, no, thank you, not listening to the carry on anymore, and threw open the gates and left. Okay, love to you all. Take care.